Good morning. This is a new Live with Ghalia edition, and we're going to be meeting today with Dr. Safi from Afghanistan to discuss the retail state and retail realities. We thought that it's important to highlight different aspects of retail from different parts of the world to see if all of the retail concepts that we read about and that are popular apply in different markets. If yes, how does this happen? And if not, what are the barriers to refraining some retail formats of developing or coming into a market? On the other hand, if these markets do not accept retail formats that are more conventional or more international, what are the alternative formats that they could develop or adopt to enhance and grow the economic industry? All of these questions I'm going to be asking to Dr. Safi, who is pretty much experienced in the industry and the market. So let me invite in Dr. Safi to kick off with this conversation. I'm going to be waiting 1 little minute so that Dr. Safi connects. I would take the opportunity to thank everyone who has been very loyal and following up on most of the lives. I would also like to remind you that all of the Live with Ghalia episodes are available on IGTV and on YouTube. If you go on YouTube, there are different playlists and each grouping different types of episodes and talks that have been registered, recorded, and uploaded online. If there are topics, areas that you would like us to elaborate or develop, please don't hesitate to come back to me with your comments or your messages, and I will be happy to develop that area online with a speaker, academic or professional who could help us in finding the answer to your questions. So I'm going just to wait for 1 little minute before Dr. Safi connects. And throughout the live, don't hesitate to ask your question or your type in your comments, and we'll be happy to answer that for you. If there are any questions that you would particularly like us to answer, we'll be happy to do that. So Dr. Safi is here. I'm just inviting him in, and we're the conversation. Dr. Safi, I am inviting you in again, and you just have to... Hello, Dr. Safi.
Hello, hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night.
For all those, yes, connecting from every part of the world. Thank you so much for connecting with me today. And I'm very happy that we're doing this live session. I have done a little introduction, not about you, about the live. So I would directly kick off with you to give us a brief introduction about you, your background, your academic and professional backgrounds.
Thank you so much. It's my privilege to be in this live session with you. So my introduction might be so long, so I will try to keep it very brief and short. At the moment, I am South Asia representative for Acacia University, USA. And I was a former chancellor of University, Kandahar, Afghanistan. And with this, I'm also the member of STAR United it's in Thailand, and I'm also the member of Bangladesh Business Research Foundation. And I'm also associate editor and a research consultant of ETCOR Philippines. And I'm also associated with different international and national journals. So this is all about me. I have done my PhD in general management, my master's in human resource management, and my bachelor also in management. I have been into education since I can say since my childhood, because when I was in 10th standard, I was an English teacher. When I was in 11, when I was in high school, I opened my own center in Afghanistan. Then after I finished my school, I went to India. I studied over there. I studied my bachelor, my master's, my PhD over there. I also worked there in Akashvani. It's a national radio television of India, almost the second oldest after BBC. I worked there for 7 years in external service division of All India Radio for Afghanistan. Yeah, I have authored almost 5-6 books during my journey in India. And recently also I'm working on different papers and different research. This is all about me.
Thank you so much, Dr. Safi. First of all, thank you, and it's a privilege to have you here and talking about all of these experiences. Just listening to all of this cultural openness and experiences between different markets that you have been actively working in, how does this cultural openness contribute to the marketing and retail knowledge that you have?
Yes, culture is always something that has its own place everywhere, whether it's in any industry or in any space, either it's in retailing or education or in any kind of business. So I can say that in Afghanistan, the situation and the culture factor with regard to the retailing is so different. I will discuss them in our conversation later. So the culture factor is always considered to be a very challenging factor for people, and even for me also, when talking to people from different parts of the world, when interacting with them with different parts of the world. Considering that into a retailing industry, in retailing industry factor, culture is playing very vital role in Afghanistan. The people here are very different when it comes to retailing industry. But right now we are in the phase of developing new forms, new rules, new regulations, and new formats of retailing in Afghanistan, which we have in Western and other countries.
Okay, we'll be talking about that in a few, because we need a lot of detail on that aspect. So let's go back to the generic aspect of the retail industry. What is today the importance of the retail industry in the Afghan market?
Yeah, retailing is something that we are very known to retailing before even knowing to the other markets. Retailing is something that we deal in our daily life. If we are anyone, we are into a retailing market. For example, if you are even a doctor or an engineer or a professor or anyone, you might be buying something for yourself, or you might be buying something for your home. So you are already a part of retailing market. So from that point of view, so the importance of retailing is always important, and it's so important in many ways. First of all, if we see that in retailing industry, it's providing the services. We see that if I want to buy something, if I want to buy a mobile phone, I have lots of options to buy a mobile phone, either through online or offline or home delivery or in the market. So I don't need to invest so much of time. This is the one factor that it's showing the importance of retailing. Or it is basically very convenient in terms of multiple options for purchasing. Or we can say that in terms of size, for example, if you want to buy anything, so you just need to order, you can buy it. So in terms of mobilizing the money, the economic, it's so helpful in economics. Like in the countries like Afghanistan, retailing is contributing huge to the economic, to the economy of the country, to the financial market of Afghanistan. So in that way, in supply chain, it's basically in employment generation, there are many factors that contributing and showing the significance and the importance of retailing in our life, in our market, or in especially in everywhere. I can't say in Afghanistan, in everywhere, retailing is so important in many aspects.
So it's part of the fabric of everyday's life.
Yeah, it's
right?
a part of it's a part of our life, so it's so attached to us.
And it seems like there is this personal dimension or proximity to retailing, as you described it.
Yeah, I will share my own experience here. See, I just resigned as a chancellor few days ago. I was working in Kandahar, so right now I'm home. So I'm working from home right now with a US university. I will be relocating to US soon. So what happened that when I was in Kandahar, so I was living alone there. I used to send my person to buy fruits for me. So he was not able to buy fruits for me. So I used to go myself to buy fruits, because that guy, he didn't know how to buy the quality of fruits, good quality of fruits. So that is how you are very connected with retailing. You are so associated with retailing. Even if you are in any position, there are some products in your life that nobody can buy for you. You have to go yourself and buy. It can be anything. Like in terms of me, I was buying fruits, or in terms of somebody else, he or she might be something else. So it is so associated, and we are so connected with retailing, and we have lots of memories in our life with respect to the retailing. When I was a child, my mother asked me go to market and buy some vegetables. So I didn't know which type of vegetable should I buy. Like I think she asked me to buy lady fingers or okra, we call okra or lady fingers, right? So she told me you buy okra. So okra comes in two sizes. One is a little bit bigger, one is a little bit smaller. So I was confused whether to buy smaller one or bigger one, which one is of a good quality. So we have lots of memories when it comes to retailing.
Right. And this is something that I will be asking you a little bit further down the road about. I'm also intrigued to learn about the local aspect of retail development, or if there is an importance or acceptance to everything imported from the exterior, either from European or North American, maybe Chinese even markets. So today, would we consider that the market develops its own retailing formats, or does it copy or accept other formats application on its territory?
Yes. In the context of Afghanistan, I have to say that it is copied. Unfortunately, I can say we are not having our own retailing system. Yes, we have a traditional one, which is not accepted now by the by the customers and by the people. So we have to ignore that part. And the advanced and the present retailing system and the format is followed and copied from other countries, especially from European countries. Anyone, for example, if I go to a country, like if I go to France and if I see a retailing system there, I will bring that idea and implement in Afghanistan.
Yes.
So lots of such ideas have been implemented in Afghanistan. Lots of individual traders or group of traders or businessmen, they brought certain ideas, certain formats from from European countries, from UAE, from different countries to Afghanistan. So now if you go to an Afghan market, you will find a different formats of retailing system, and you will find everything in Afghanistan. So Afghanistan is a free market where you can buy, you can find anything you want in the world. You can find it in Afghanistan, because you can easily import that product from different parts of the world. So that is why, like for example, if you want to buy a car, you can buy the latest car in Afghanistan with a very reasonable price. If you want to buy e-tables, or if you want to buy any other items, you can find it in Afghanistan. So in that way, Afghanistan is so rich in terms of retail industry.
And this being said, we would imagine that a concept could be copied or reimagined on the local market. However, are brands, international brands today, interested in coming and opening their formats in the market? And is the market ready to accept the ways or the procedures that brand is going to impose on the market?
See, certain, because in Afghanistan is, for example, with concern to some brands which are not halal, with that formats, they may not be, they may not give a license. The government may not give a license, and people will not accept those brands. But in terms of if they are, halal products, and like in terms of, I mean, restaurant, food industry. So in terms of that, if it is halal, there is no problem. And there might be some, minor changes when they are bringing their own format in Afghanistan. Like we have a small city in Afghanistan called Samangan. People of Samangan are very, they are expatriates in UAE and in Saudi Arabia. Almost 60% of people, their income is from abroad, from these countries. And in last 5 years, if you go to a Samangan, it's a very small city, you will find everywhere a supermarket. Everywhere is very, very, very advanced, very, well designed, well decorated, big supermarkets are there. So they just went there and they brought the ideas and they just applied here in Afghanistan. So even we have now, retail shops of 3-4 floors, stories, buildings, which is only into retail industry. So with minor changes, yes, but unfortunately with maintenance, I have to say no, because they are bringing the format and after a few days or after a few months, they don't maintain that format.
Yes.
They don't maintain that format and it is just gone.
Okay, this is really important because it's part of the also cultural understanding of how that format could be integrated within the dailies of the market.
So with maintenance, there is a problem. And that is also the reason because of well qualified, qualified human resources are not there. For example, I'm a businessman. I'm opening a retail shop or retail store, and I hire people. But unfortunately, those people which I'm hiring, they are not well trained to how to look after the property and after everything which are there in that store. So that is the reason that people are not able to maintain them the way it should be maintained and the way it is maintained in other countries.
Yes. So it leads us to talk about the retail infrastructure. I mean, even if we want to get a concept there, all of the linking parts that make it viable and sustainable could not be served at the moment. So this could be considered as a challenge today in the market, or what are the other challenges that you could talk about today in today's Afghan market?
There are many challenges. So one is this one, that maintaining the infrastructure. Sometimes installation of the infrastructure in Afghanistan is also a problem. They are bringing the engineer himself or to Afghanistan in order to install certain formats. That is a challenge in Afghanistan. Another challenge is in terms of online marketing. Online marketing is not right now. There is no regulation, no rules by the government for online marketing. Sometimes what is happening, you are ordering an online product and they deliver the product, then you are switching off your mobile phone. Then you don't respond, or sometimes you give there are people, I can't, there are some people like that. I have heard such experiences. So they just order something and they give a wrong order address, and when the guy is there, so there is no one. Because my brother is doing a PhD thesis on online marketing in Afghanistan, in north zone of Afghanistan. So he has shared these experience with me, that online marketing is really challenging in Afghanistan in terms of quality, in terms of delivery of the product, and many more. The other challenge in Afghanistan, the payments is the problem. Yes. Sometimes in the previous government, so we are now with a new government. You may know that recently a political change happened in Afghanistan 3 months ago. 3 months ago, there was a security problem also with the retailing industry. Like, you are not able to go to the market late evening. You were not able to order. If you are ordering an online product, the delivery was so risky. It was not safe. For example, if you go and deliver the product, you will bring the cash with you. So somebody will take the cash from you on the way. So that security problem is not now. Now the security problem is resolved, so we don't have that security problem. So now it's safe. But that was another issue. Other challenges, like finding the right people, is still a problem in Afghanistan. we don't have trained people to how to deal with the customers, how to be very professional, how to behave with the customers. That is another problem in Afghanistan. Other
And
problem
Dr.
I can say
Safi,
is that yes.
would that be related to the education or lack of retail related education,
No,
such
that is
as
actually related to the certified education. For example, if you see in other countries, they came up with certain short-term courses or even degrees in retail industry.
yes.
But in Afghanistan, we don't have such courses. So if we have these short-term courses for 3 months, 5 months, 1 year diploma in retail industry, I'm sure that we will not have this problem. But I feel that this problem is due to the people are educated, but they, for example, a guy is having a degree, for example, in political science, but he is into retail industry, or somebody is from nursing, he is in retail industry, or somebody is maybe from business. Business is still relevant, but if it is certification is there, so this problem will be solved in Afghanistan.
Right.
Other challenge in Afghanistan is that market, geographical market, like location. Still, we have some cities that master plan is not implemented in those cities. So that connectivity of the market, that connectivity of the shops and stores are a little bit challenging and difficult.
So we
For
talk
example,
about the urban development and the retail urban development.
Urban development. Yeah, that is another challenge we have in Afghanistan. So then the other challenges are connected with the COVID-19, which is very common and which is in everywhere in the world. That is, disruption of supply chain, and people are not able to go to the supermarkets and all that. So these are the few challenges that we face in Afghanistan at the moment.
Right.
But right now, the biggest problem is financial crisis in Afghanistan. We have due to the changes, political changes in Afghanistan. So there is a financial crisis that is also very important because of international stores and formats of retailing industries are in Afghanistan. So, but their products are very expensive.
Right.
If you want to buy, you should have very good salary. But now all the salaries are like.
Would you believe, Dr. Safi, that facing that challenge and maybe the local inflation due to all of what has been happening on the market would push us or push retailers to rethink their formats and invest in innovating their local retail formats versus maybe paying attention to?
This is, we believe that this should be temporary because the situation is getting better. So before 3 months and right now the situation is so different. Right now we are in a better position and we hope that things should go to the normal back. Some retailers did this same because they reduced the number of employees. For example, in a supermarket, there used to be like 10 employees. Now there are 4 employees, 3 employees. That is one changes that they have done in order to reduce the cost. Another thing that is so interesting, they have reduced the cost in terms of electricity cost. They have reduced the electricity cost. In some big supermarkets and some big stores, they have so much of light.
Yes.
And the 1 unit of light in Afghanistan is 20 rupees. For commercial prices, 20 rupees. 20 Afghani rupees is almost, I think, 20 cent. Yeah, 20 cent in dollar. So 20 cent 1 unit. So they reduce the cost. They reduce, the number of lights. They reduce, they brought some basics change. Yeah, in order to reduce the cost. Yeah.
And what we talked about these challenges, and we hope that the situation will unfold positively soon. What could be today opportunities that the retail market could be presenting to retailers, and how those opportunities could be seized?
Yeah, see, there are opportunities in terms of career, because if you are in the retail industry, you have to update yourself because people will not accept you, people will not accept your business. So in one way, there is an opportunity of employment. in retail industry, there used to be one person in a store. Right now, there are 5, 6, 7 people in one store. So that is one opportunity which is everywhere, not only in Afghanistan, everywhere. Another thing is that classification of, that their sales, classification of their sales. For example, there used to be one store in one place. Now that store is trying to give franchisees. That store is trying to open branches in different parts of the country. So that is the another opportunities that is increasing. For example, people are willing to buy from those brands, from those stores which have branches in other cities. For example, if I'm a customer of A store, I'm buying that product from A store. I want to buy the same product from same company if I travel to another city or another state. So I prefer those brands or those stores to buy where we have the branches in other cities. So that is the other opportunities that we have. Government support is there because retailing industry, as I said, that in Afghanistan is contributing to the economic, to the employment in Afghanistan. So government is also helping a lot. Small shops, the government right now, they supported them financially. They give them infrastructure.
Yes.
The government also helped them in many ways, like in waiving of taxes. For example, if you're a very small, you are a small store owner, the government is giving you lots of support. That is the other opportunity or benefits that we have. Then we also have connectivity. Connectivity is so important. For example, right now, if you want to have a product, you want to buy a product from, for example, from UAE or from Paris. For example, we have lots of French products in Afghanistan. So the cost of delivery or the cost of import or transportation is reducing day by day. Okay. So that can be considered as a as an opportunity. Yeah, encouragement to the retailers to open more stores and to open more stores for in order to expand their business. Right. So these are certain opportunities that we have right now in the market, and probably there will be technologies, another opportunity or benefits which is being utilized by the retailers. So because right now you have multiple options for selling your products. For example, I will tell my own experience, my family experience, not my own experience. We are into business. My other brothers, they are manufacturers, and they have they are contributors to the entire Afghanistan, to the different zones. One of my brother, he has masters in engineering, and he has recently finished his masters. But during his last semester, he was trying to do some online shoppings and all that. He just posted some of the products on his Facebook account, and he got so many orders, and he sold a very big quantity of products. So that is how the technology helps him. So still he's a student, but he's earning, I think, even better than somebody who has a job. So yes, these technologies are really helpful. Yeah.
Right. And if I may ask, today, is there censorship on the usage of social media or developing activities on social media channels to do commercial types of transactions, such as, for example, setting up a Facebook shop or selling one-to-one through WhatsApp, for example? Is it something that the market?
No, we don't. Fortunately, we don't have that. So you can set up virtual shop for yourself. There are many platforms you can have your shop, so you can do tradings, you can do sell your products, you can sell your own products. Even you can sell old products also. For example, right now, if in real estate industry, the online market is so good in Afghanistan. If you want to sell your house, you want to sell your flat, you want to buy a flat, so you want to give rent your flat, so you can do it online. It is not a problem. Even if you want to buy a car, sell a car. For example, I was planning to sell my car. So my car was in showroom for almost 1 month. I didn't find a buyer. I just posted the car on different Facebook groups. Yes. I sold it in a better price. I
Okay.
sold it in a better price. So
Yeah.
I found a buyer immediately in one day. So
Right.
that is how this technology is helping a lot in order to find your customer to sell your product. So it's so interesting somehow.
It is, it is. And it says a lot about also this proximity related to customer relations. We still find a lot of value into communicating directly with the buyer and the seller. Thus,
Yes, yes.
going back to the idea that you opened up initially our talk with, and this is very interesting. So we talked about this technological advance that is speeding, of course, like any other market, the way we are shopping or changing some aspects of individuals' consumption. Is there any other factor that is worth talking about that could also be a dimension affecting retail and retail's development?
Yeah, there are some other factors like cultural factors, psychological factors. I will also share my own experience because we started our family business from retail, but now we are manufacturers. So I will share my own experience that would be interesting for your audience also. A brother of, like, we are five brothers. So one of my brother, he's a distributor in one city. What is happening? He told me his story last night. There is a storekeeper, there is a retailer. He is not buying a box of biscuit, for example, $5 from my brother, which he is delivering to doorstep to him. And he is coming back and he is buying from our own office from another city, 10 rupees extra. For example, yeah, 10 rupees more than that, and he himself is taking those products to the shop. So that is how the psychological behavior is that, like that way. For example, we are from a small, for example, we were living in a district. In district, there were many shops. We moved to a city. Right now, we are living in a city. We have our own company. Customers, shopkeepers who are in our city, who are in our district, they are not buying from us.
Yeah.
Because they feel that why should I buy from him? He was just living yesterday with me in the same city. Now I'm buying from him. So he is not buying even in a cheaper price because I'm from the same place. He's going to buy from somewhere else. So this is so interesting. So there are many factors, which is really funny. But these are the factors we have to accept, that there are some people like that. They are like this. So they don't want to buy. They have psychological factors is there, cultural factor is there, economical factor is there, motivation behind buying something. There are many factors that involves the decision of buying some product.
Right. And this is really interesting. Thank you. I mean, if we compare consumer behavior across different markets, it's always something to look out to because it really makes or breaks a system. Sometimes a retail format is challenged not because of the quality of the products or the process, rather than the acceptance, as you said, or the intentions of consumers of going and consuming from that. Dr. Safi, as an
even sometimes what is happening, that even sometimes there are some customers that they want to buy, even if you are giving him anything or whatever you are giving, he will buy from you. So that is the loyalty of the customers that's showing towards your brand or towards your products. So that is still even in a very traditional market like in Afghanistan, that we are now open to a recent and advanced market of retailing system. So still that loyalty is there. Even in a traditional system in Afghanistan, the loyalty is there. For example, I have seen families that they are buying from one store since 20 years. They are buying from one store since 30 years. They are buying even in the second generation is buying from the same store. So I have seen such. I have seen such people, such stores, such shops. There is one shop. He is just selling tea, green tea. So his father got for rest in peace. His father died. So now his son is sitting in that shop, and he has the same customers of 10, 20 years ago that I remember from my time. So from 10, 20 years, he has the same customers buying tea from him. And there are one more thing, like for example, in Afghanistan, there are some restaurants they sell, like there are some restaurants, they give very traditional palau, like food, palau, kebab. People are coming from another city in order to eat that palau in that restaurant.
Yes, yes.
Restaurant is so, if you go to the restaurant,
It's a modest
if you see
restaurant.
from the medical point of view, from the hygiene point of view, it's not hygienic. It is not a place to eat food even for generation. But still people, even from new generation people from different parts, they are coming in and just waiting in queue in order to have the opportunity to eat food. The food quality is so good, so tasty, but no any other formalities, no any other services, no any other services to give to the customers. So there are many brands in Afghanistan still like that, especially in food industry. They are very good. Even in financial crisis right now that we have, even if you go there, still they have so many customers.
Yes.
They have so many customers. So there are many different,
It's really interesting. Thank you for sharing that. And I just wanted to ask, how about this academic depth point of view that you have, because you have built it for so long right now? How does it help you in making more sense to your professional activities? I mean, do you have a different way of seeing things and interpreting them later on a professional life?
See, when I personally, this is my own experience, I was traveling from one city to another city with my brother. So there was a shop. We just stayed in a restaurant. There was a local restaurant. We ordered some food, and the food was not so hygienic. So the food was not so hygienic. So what happened? So I asked the owner, I asked the restaurant guy, that I asked him that why it is like that. Just go take this and just bring me something else. Then my brother scolded me that he said it is not Arab. You have to accept.
Things as they are, right?
So you have to accept the way they are, because if you behave like this, they will not tell. They will show something. They will consider you that you are a little bit, like not accepting the culture. So even I'm from Afghanistan, but I live almost 10 years after my high school outside of Afghanistan. I just came last year. So such experience are there. I was so shocked in the beginning, but right now I know how to deal with them. Yesterday I told my brother, I was in the market. I told him that I will try all the food. There's so much tasty foods are there in the market, on streets, everywhere. So I told him that you have seen in some Facebook food blogs that they are promoting street foods and all that, and they are showing the taste and everything. I told him that let me do all tasting of all these foods, then I will start gym afterwards. So somehow it is so interesting. It is a fun to be in somewhere different, to be in a different culture, to be in a different format, to buy something differently, because when you go to the other countries, almost into Europe, other countries, you see a very advanced life. You see everything is well organized. You have so much of, it's a kind of very professional life, very fit. You are like in a system. You don't have that freedom. You should be very professional when you buy something. You should be very careful to everything. But when you are into such local markets, you really enjoy shopping. You really enjoy interacting with people. You really enjoy the way people are buying.
Because you would also be consuming the environment, also, right? This is part of the experience that makes shopping or food tasting so interesting. Thank you for sharing that again. This is a very interesting point. So, Dr. Safi, also, would you believe that at this point there should be a reinvention of the education program to change the future generation of retailers and marketers, and to help them think or rethink of new ways to make their market more dynamic or more innovative?
Yes, this is so important. This is so important. Fortunately, we have such institutions which are only working for retail industries. They are offering different innovations, different courses. But if I talk in context of Afghanistan, right now we have got 127 private universities. They are offering like medical law, business studies, but the government has said that now they don't allow or they don't give license to the new universities if they offer these programs. They will only give license to universities if they are offering programs like for retailers, if they are offering certifications for retailers. So such programs are highly welcomed in Afghanistan, and the government is also promoting such innovations and such certifications in Afghanistan. And it is a requirement right now in Afghanistan that we should have at least such institutions to work for retail industry. But in other parts of the world, we have innovations. Still, we need innovation because we can't ignore innovation. We can't say it is enough now. So we should welcome innovation all the time. There is lots of smart ways you can realize that after some years. For example, if you say 30 years ago or 40 years ago, if you say that there would be some time, there would be an Instagram, two people will be interacting. So people won't believe you 40, 50 years ago. But right now we have this possibility. So there is still a lot to innovate in retail industry in order to make the industry more profitable, in order to make the industry more convenient, in order to make the industry very top. Because a retailing industry right now in some, I will tell you one of my own experience. There is one businessman. He is importing cosmetics from China, and I went to his shop and I told him that I also want to do this business. He told me, no, don't do this business. It is not profitable. Just do one thing. Just go open shops in districts. Open shops like 4 or 5, a chain of stores in different districts, and just manage them. You will have more profit than me. So retail industry should be not ignored, because in retail industry, it's fine. You have a small shop or you might be having a bigger shop, but the profit is always there.
Right.
The profit of retailing industry is sometimes even more than the big businesses that people are involved in. So there should be new things to be done for retailing industry, and technology is still important for retailing industry. So people are working, certain institutions are working, government is working in Afghanistan. Then we have this union of retailing industries in Afghanistan. We have unions. They are working on different formats. They are working on different approaches. So if you see that the development of union of retailing industry in Afghanistan, they have achieved a lot in last 20 years in Afghanistan.
Good.
Because so they came up with lots of ideas. They came up with lots of proposals to give to the government, and government accepted them. So the achievements of industry union is really appreciated in Afghanistan. It's my personal appreciation to them.
And it's a good thing. It's a good thing because there is room for development, and there is the intention to help this development take place. Thank you, Dr. Safi. Yes. And Dr. Safi, is there any other final thought that you would like to end before we conclude our interview?
Yeah, thank you so much. So I have lots of memories with retail industry, because we are a family that we started with retail industry. We started with a store, with a small shop. Fortunately, right now we are into business. I have lots of memories during my childhood when I was in school. After my school, I used to go to my brother's shop. I used to help him, just sitting there for 1 hour, 2 hours. I have learned lots of behavioral stuff from the people during my school time. Even right now also, when I go to different places, I can't stop myself. I give ideas to people. Okay, if I go to a store and if I'm buying something from them, I give them an idea. Okay, you should not do this, you should do like this. So I always give ideas. When I go outside, when I do shopping, I always give ideas to people, give them free advice, give them free services, telling them that how they can be smarter, how they can be better, into their small businesses that they have, how they can make their businesses more profitable, how they can be, more nice to their customers in order to attract more customers to their stores. So that is what I want to share in the last. And I also thank you so much for this opportunity and for this somehow formal or semi-formal interaction with you. So this is what I have shared. It is just of my own experience. And thank you so much. And I want to thank all the audience who watched us and who will be watching us later on, I think. I think it's recorded one, right?
Yes, yeah. Yes, of course. Thank you, Dr. Safi. It was really a pleasure doing this. And for all of the contributions. It's always interesting to share personal stories because retail is also made of components of individuals who make it dynamic and interactive. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
After ending up this live, it will be available on IGTV, and later on it will be available on YouTube, and we will be resharing it on social media. So thank you for everyone who joined us today.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Have a nice time. Take care. All the best.
Thank you, Dr. Safi, and hope to speak soon on other projects.
Yeah. I love to continue my association. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.